Can somebody please explain to me why the UK is so expensive?
Because right now it feels like it's impossible. It's just everything is going up. Absolutely everything. Daily. Supermarkets. I'm sure they put prices up 50% every week we go. It's just a joke.
Everyone, including myself, is like struggling at the minute to pay all the bills and live a comfortable life.
It never ends, the bullshit in this country, does it? It is just one thing after another. You are also gonna love the reason, or rather excuse, that they've given for this.
Can anyone explain why our water bill has tripled? A few years ago, we were paying £65 a month to Southern Water. Then it went up to £91. Now it's doubled to £180 a month.
As the cost of living increases and the retirement age gets pushed further and further back, more and more people are going to actually have to work until they physically can't work anymore and get too old.
People who don't know out there, the UK is literally set up to make you poor, yeah? You go to work, you get VAT'd, you come back, you live in a house, that house that you live in gets VAT'd because you got to pay, like, you know, Americans pay property taxes and shit, right? Here, they do it through a scam called council tax.
I put 20 British pounds, which is like 37 Canadian dollars, in my car, and it didn't even get me 150 miles.
£40, like what the are you supposed to do with £40 in the year 2025? Like, you sneeze, walk out of the door and sneeze, your £40 is gone.
The older I get and the more places that I travel in the world, the more shit I realise the UK is. The whole country is a overpriced scam, bro. Do not come here, leave the UK.
Yeah, people, I'm going out of England. I am not staying in England any longer. I'm not even joking. I'm not staying in England. Tell me why I worked my butt off for a month to make $3,000 and 200 something to come out with $2,079. Like, how does that make sense?
Where is all that tax money going? It's so much money that everyone across the country is paying in taxes. They can't even fix the potholes. There's not a single country I've been to on holiday and thought, this is actually worse than England. Not a single one. Every country I've ever visited has always looked better than this one.
High taxes for working people is always given as one of the biggest reasons why people are wanting out of the UK. But let's see how much an average person in the UK on an average salary spends purely on tax each year.
Am I working for you guys, or am I working for my employee? Or am I working for my employee and the government plus the tax person?
Welcome back to Broken Britain, where surviving feels like a privilege and more people are saying, we can't afford to live here anymore, so we're leaving. Think about how insane that is. Britain, once one of the richest nations on earth, has turned into a place people are fleeing from, not because of war, not because of natural disaster, but because they can't afford food, water, electricity, rent, or even a half-decent life on a so-called minimum wage. And it's not just the poor, it's working families, young people with degrees, even professionals. They look at their weekly shop, their rent, their bills, and they realise, why am I killing myself to survive in a country that gives me nothing back? If you're sick of being priced out of your own country, hit subscribe to Brit Rants, because we're saying the things politicians don't want you to hear.
People who don't know out there, the UK is literally set up to make you poor, yeah? You go to work, you get VAT'd, you come back, you live in a house, that house that you live in gets VAT'd because you got to pay, like, you know, Americans pay property taxes and shit, right? Here, they do it through a scam called council tax, which is a scam, right? Straight up scam, you know what I mean? Like, wait, you go to work, you get paid, and then you got to pay us to live in your house. Like, well, if I went and lived in the woods, I'm not going to have to pay anyone, am I? So this shit's a scam. The UK is set up and designed to keep you poor. You know, the BBC's a scam. That's another one. Oh, you got to pay us to have a TV where you can help us fund the likes of Jimmy Savile, Keir Starmer, and, you know, we're the leftist goons and we're gonna make your life so good that we're not gonna charge you a penny off your bills. Yeah, it's a fucking scam. This shit's fucking rigged. When the fuck are people gonna wake up and boot these motherfuckers out? And King Charles.
Can somebody please explain to me why the UK is so fucking expensive? Like, I've been back now for a week. Basically, I was in Southeast Asia, for you guys that don't know, for about 3 to 4 months traveling or whatever. Just finished a week in Malaysia. I've been back now for a week. I go away again next week. And just pull it into perspective, yeah. I've just had a look at Uber prices from my house to the airport, which is about 30-minute drive. And they're coming at like £35, £40 for a lift for a taxi. taxi. Now in Thailand, I was paying probably a fifth of that price. Now I get fuel probably is a lot cheaper over there, but even so, not even just fuel. Like you go shopping now. I went Morrison's like the other day, and I spent £30 on one bag of shopping. £30 on one bag. To put that into perspective, in Thailand, I could get the same items and it would cost me like £10, £8, if that. So it's not just Thailand, it's anywhere else in the world. The UK is ridiculously expensive, and it puts it into perspective when you see homeless people, you see people struggling, and you see all these kind of problems happening. Like everywhere's a shithole, I won't lie. Where I live, like everywhere is a shithole, and like there's no maintenance. Like look how long all the grass is. I don't know how long it's even been like this, but it's just ridiculous, man. And I don't get it. I feel very confused. I've come back here and nothing's really changed. Everyone's still doing the same thing. So my advice, if you're out there right now and you're struggling with money and you want to improve your life, just move location. Just try Thailand, try these cheaper countries, live a bit more cheaply, and you'll see how far your money goes, and you'll see how much you're being ripped off in the UK. You'll come back to the UK like I have, and you'll see how much of a rip off it is. I can't wait to get back out of here. I won't lie, because your money really does not go far here.
Yeah, people, I'm going out of England. I am not staying in England any longer. I'm not even joking. I'm not staying in England. Tell me why. I worked my butt off for a month to make £3,000 and 200 something. To come out with £3,000 80 something. To come out with £2,000 79. Like, how does that make sense? Is the tax? Is the nurse pension? Whoever that is? Is the national insurance? Bro! Why did it come down to so much money? Am I working for you guys? Or am I working for my employee? Or am I working for my employee and the government plus the tax plus the... Guys, I'm gonna report this. I'm gonna report the system. Yeah, I'm gonna report this damn system because this is a fraud. What am I working for? No. I'm gonna try. I just spoke to all three of these people, of these companies, and they're all telling me, oh, it's regarding your benefits in the future. Oh, it's regarding your tax to live in the country. Oh, it's regarding your pension. Do I look like I want pension? I'm 23. I can only claim pension after I'm 67. Like, what the heck? Like, what? Will my kids be able to claim my pension as well? Because what am I doing at 67 with money? You know, I want to relax. Alexa, stop. Like, who wants money at 67? I want to chill. I want to sit in the porch and observe kids in the porch. I want my grandkids running around me. Not me here thinking about money. I want to live peacefully. I want to already have all my life sorted. So you're telling me who's got my pension money? I'm paying you guys for my future. Oh, I've got a headache and I've got cold. So this is not helping. But England, do freaking better. You're stealing. You're a scam. Just disgusting. Do better. Nah, seriously, England needs to do better because I'm not working for you guys. I'm working for my employee. If my employee is working for you guys take it out of my employee's account, not out of my account. Okay? I'm working for my future, not for you guys' future, plus the everybody's civilization future. You know? What? Dumb people, bro. Dumb people. Guys, nah. Don't have jobs. Stay home. Or even better, don't even start selling things face to face so you don't get taxed or nothing. You know?
The older I get and the more places that I travel in the world, the more shit I realise the UK is. The whole country is a fucking overpriced scam, bro. Do not come here. Leave the UK. So basically, I was living in Thailand for 3 months over winter. I was meant to be there for longer, but I had to come back early due to visa and other things. And I have a car in the UK. And I was going to sell the car when I moved to Thailand, but I was like, you know what? I'll keep it. I didn't sell the car. I was like, I've got some private land to put the car on. I will put the car off the road there. In the UK, you need something called road tax in order to drive a car on the road, which basically pays for the upkeeps of the roads, highways, etc., building infrastructure, as far as I understand. So this road tax you have to pay to have your car on the road. You pay this in like a yearly fee or you pay it monthly. My car was put onto my own piece of private land off the road. So I was like, obviously, I don't need to pay fucking road tax if it's not on the road. I get back, right, and I've been fined for not having road tax for my car, which I own, which was not on the road, which I was not using because I was in a different country. And apparently, you're meant to declare the car as not on the road with the DVLA, which is like the vehicle licensing agency in the UK. But if you do that, it goes on the car's permanent record. So if I sell the car and someone looks up the car, it will say for this many months the car was not on the road. And the reason for that is because normally it's been in an accident, or it's broken, or there's something wrong with it, and you're trying to hide it. So you have to legally, in the UK, or you're going to get fucking shafted and fined, basically devalue your car and let people know, like, put on your DVA record that the car is not on the road, I'm not going to pay tax. You simply can't just take your own possession off the road, put it on your own fucking driveway, and not pay for it to be somewhere. You have to prove that you're not guilty of driving on the road, and then if you don't prove that you're not guilty, they assume that you're guilty and fine you. Fuck England, bro.
How much does the average UK citizen actually pay in taxes? According to Google, the average UK salary is £37,430. First thing you gotta pay is income tax. So minus the 12,500 allowance, you're paying back almost £5,000 in income tax. But it doesn't stop there. Then you have national insurance, which is about 8.75%. So you're paying back another £3,400 in taxes. Now, you might also be paying council tax if you live in a home, which according to the government website, you're looking at £2,280 per year. It doesn't stop there. There's also a 20% VAT on all spending. So let's say in a year, you're spending £15,000. Expect to pay £3,000 back in VAT. Now, you also have to pay for road tax if you want to drive in the UK, a TV license if you want to watch TV in the UK, and other taxes like the sugar tax, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it might be. And you're looking at a total of £15,000 in taxes. That is about 40% of this salary before you pay for rent, before you pay for food, before you pay for any of that in pure taxes.
Also, this is a PSA for those who are saying, oh, Canada's more expensive. It may well be more expensive with certain things, and I will soon find out. However, it is not more expensive for gas. I put 20 British pounds, which is like 37 Canadian dollars, in my car, and it didn't even get me 150 miles. It got me about 100. 100 miles! And like, what?
The UK is a tax trap, and I'm going to explain how. Let's start off with your wages if you're on a salaried job. So the lowest rate of tax that you'll pay is 20%. However, it's not actually 20%, it's 28%, because it's 20% income tax and 8% national insurance. And if you're at the higher end of the salary scale, I believe it's 45% income tax and almost 12% national insurance. And the income tax that almost every working person pays is not even the start of it. We pay value-added tax on almost everything we buy. We pay council tax, which I genuinely don't know what that's even for. They're absolutely useless. We pay stamp duty for when we buy a property for some unknown reason. Now, this money that we're using to pay for all these taxes has already been taxed. So the UK technically does have a double taxation system. And now imagine if you have a family and you die. Well, guess what? You also pay inheritance tax. Not only inheritance tax, we pay savings tax and we pay tax on our pensions. Money that people have worked all their lives for still gets taxed. And if you drive a car, well, here are some more taxes. Vehicle excise duty or road tax, which we have to pay every year. In some occasions, we have to pay car purchase tax. And if you want to fill that car up with petrol or diesel, well, 70% of what you purchase is tax. But imagine you needed to fix your car, well, 20% of your repairs is a value-added tax as well. We are taxed when we earn, we're taxed when we spend, we're taxed when we die, we're taxed when we drive, we're taxed on everything. And we're not just taxed once, we're taxed over and over again with the same money. Now imagine if you work really hard to get, I don't know, a regional sales manager job and you're on a good salary. Let's just say that you're on the higher end of the salary scale and you're at the top. Well, your effective rate of tax is 70% of everything you earn. And I'm saying 70% because I'm including the hidden taxes that the person would also have to spend their money on. So the harder anyone works or the better anyone does, the government just come along and take more of it. How is anyone that's not rigging the system supposed to get ahead? And do you honestly think these taxes are used for building a better country? Taxes are meant to be for public services. Do we have good public services? No, not at all. Are we safe in this country? No, not at all. Where is all that tax money going? It's so much money that everyone across the country is paying in taxes. They can't even fix the potholes. There's not a single country I've been to on holiday and thought, this is actually worse than England. Not a single one. Every country I've ever visited has always looked better than this one. How is that possible? My question is, if someone honestly knows where all this money is going, please let me know.
Has anyone ever sat down and thought, I actually don't want to work until I'm old? As the cost of living increases and the retirement age gets pushed further and further back, more and more people are going to actually have to work until they physically can't work anymore and get too old. And that is just a fact. In the UK, we are placed into what I call the perfect funnel. You go to primary school, then you go to secondary school, then you go to college, then you go to university. And then when you leave university, you enter the workforce. For some people, this starts at 21 when they come out of university. For some people, it starts a bit later. For some people, it starts even earlier. And then you work until you are 65 or even older. And yes, you do get compensated for doing this, but it's nowhere near the amount of value that your employer will extract from you. And working is great when you're young. You know, you're full of energy, you want to work, it's cool. I think if you've been doing it for like 40 or 50 years, it probably isn't as fun anymore. And your body's starting to fail you and you need more rest and you need more time for yourself. And it's something that I've been hyper aware of since about the age of 14, was that I didn't ever want to work until I was completely old and my body failed me, or I didn't want to work until retirement age. So do more and more people think about working till they're old and just come to the conclusion that they just don't want to do it?
If they wanted to teach you, they would, but they won't. So I will. High taxes for working people is always given as one of the biggest reasons why people are wanting out of the UK. But let's see how much an average person in the UK on an average salary spends purely on tax each year. Now, this is going to be a little numbers heavy, but it's important to understand this, so lock in. The current average salary for an adult in the UK is £37,500 per year. So this is what we're going to base things on. Also, just a side note, the average salary in 2010 in the UK was £25,879 per year, which in 2025, accounting for inflation, would be equivalent to £40,060.89. Which means that the average salary in the UK has dropped by £2,560.89 over the past 15 years, which is great. But let's get back to the reality of the tax burden in the UK right now. Firstly, from our £37,500 annual salary, we need to account for income tax and national insurance, which would come to a total of £6,980.40. This leaves you with £30,519.60p, which doesn't sound too bad, but as we're only focusing on tax, that doesn't account for pension contributions, student loan repayments, and other potential work benefits like salary sacrifice schemes. Then you have to think about your living costs, which means paying your council tax. The average annual council tax bill in the UK right now is £2,280 for the year, which brings our tax total to £9,260.40. Let's say we drive and have a car, seeing as around 77% of households in the UK have access to a car, and the average vehicle tax in the UK is £195 a year. This brings our tax bill to £9,455.40. Then we add TV license, which is £174.50, and our grand total is £9,629.90. I hope you're keeping up. Now, on an average salary of £37,500 per year, after subtracting all of the main taxes, you will have left £27,870.10, which is £2,322.51 per month, and everything you buy with that money, you will be charged 20% tax on through VAT. It is estimated that average monthly living cost for a single person in the UK with rent included is £1,732, which would leave you with £590.51 to put towards going out, having fun, as well as your savings and investments. For a whole month, that isn't a lot. For a family of four, the average monthly expenses are £4,102 per month with rent, which is why so many people are living in debt or having to get help from the government, even in a two-income household. Now, to be honest, these numbers are averages and your situation may be better or worse, but right now taxes seem to be too high for the amount people on average in Britain are making. But let me know in the comments, do you think tax in the UK is high, low, or reasonable? And is it enough to make you want to pack your bags and leave?
You won't pay a penny more on your council tax. More affordable bills for all. Blah, blah, blah. Oh look, energy prices will be going up by more than double what they were supposed to in October. Right in time for winter. It never fucking ends, the bullshit in this country, does it? It is just one thing after another. You are also going to love the reason, or rather excuse, that they've given for this. Ofgem, the regulator, has said that the price increase is all down to the cost of running wind farms, specifically in remote areas. Due to the fact that they can't turn themselves off and the network can't transfer the power to the areas needed. I mean, have you ever heard such bollocks in all your life? We were told by this Labour government, by Keir Starmer, before they got into power, that energy bills would go down. We wouldn't pay a penny more on our council tax. Turns out it was all one big lie. All we have seen since they come in is price increases. And to top it off, the nation's finances are in a worse state than when we started. We are all being completely shafted. And you know for a fact that these energy companies, these directors, are going to record profits once again this year. Big bonuses all round once again. And I wonder why that is. Damn, we get shafted in the UK. Anyway, let me know what you think of this in the comments.
How does anyone not realise the absolute scam of supermarkets? I genuinely can't walk in this place without spending at least £50 to £100, and that's not to get a week's shop, that's literally a day. Just a few essentials, a little bit of food. Look at these prices, £5 for fish, £4 for juice, £4 for shower gel, a £5 for eggs. People work a whole hour for £10 and it costs nearly that for washing tablets. It's alright for me earning thousands of pounds per day, but I genuinely can't understand how anyone survives these days. If you want to learn how to make a second income, go to the bio.
Can anyone explain why our water bill has tripled? A few years ago, we were paying £65 a month to Southern Water. Then it went up to £91. Now it's doubled to £180 a month. Same number of people in the household, same usage. The only thing that's changed is the bill. And it just seems outrageous. Are you a Southern Water customer? Has your bill increased? Please drop your numbers in the comments and perhaps we can compare.
What are some everyday things you can't afford anymore because of the cost of living? I will start. First thing that comes to mind is Faya yogurt, or Phage. This yogurt was £3 in 2023 and now it's nearly £6. I used to go through like 2 of these a week. Number 2, Lurpak butter. In 2022, this was just over £5 and now £6 with Nectar card though. Another one, protein bars. I used to love protein bars. Protein bars were around £2 back in 2022 and now £2.90. They're over £3 in a lot of places. These are just a few things that I don't buy anymore. Now when I go shopping, I go to numerous supermarkets to find the best prices for things. When you're living on a budget, everything adds up. All of these pennies and pounds add up.
Celebrations have shrunk again. The new tubs are now 500 grams worth 550 grams. Unbelievable. You now just get 51 sweets. It's Asda and Sainsbury's that are selling a new 500 grams, so if you see the 550 grams, get them if you want them, because they're going extinct. The other tubs are still 550 grams, like Quality Street and Roses and Heroes, but they'll probably be going to 500 grams soon too. I noticed yesterday in Sainsbury's, they said 500 grams, but they're 550. But they're probably just getting rid of the old stock. And in Asda, you can get 2 pouches for the same price, and you get 650 grams, so you might as well go for pouches. Plus, you get 70 sweets instead of 51. But they'll probably go up or shrink soon too. They keep shrinking every year, it's a disgrace. Asda have even got all the shrinkflation chocolates lined up. Freddos with 5 bars, now 4. Curly Whirlies with 5 bars, now 4. Dairy Milk Little Bars with 6 bars and 5 bars and now 4 bars. And I'm sure Fudgies came in a 5-pack too. It's a proper liberty, this.
The UK is absolutely finished. £9.35 for a packet of 1 kg Lurpak butter is absolutely insane. The cost of living crisis has reached an all-time high. How are people genuinely affording £9.35? We are talking nearly £10 here, people. Now, prices in supermarkets have risen by 8.7% in the last 6 months. In the previous 6 months before that, it was 6.7. When will it bloody stop? We are seeing middle-class families going to food banks. They're going to the yellow sticker section in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Morrison's. Honestly, the UK is absolutely finished. I genuinely think in 2026, we will see the day where Lurpak butter is £10. I've done a little bit of research and Sainsbury's do sell the exact same one for £7.25, but I'm sorry, even £7.25 is an absolute rip-off. I genuinely don't understand how Lurpak are still in business. Who is actually buying this stuff for £9.35? I understand the butter is good, it's good quality, but I'm sorry, this is another level. Maybe I'm clutching at straws, maybe £9.35 isn't actually that bad, but I want to see what you guys think about this. Have you seen a dramatic increase in your shopping recently or not? Let me know what you think about this one in the comment.
What in the cost of living crisis I'm glad I hate the taste of lamb. Bullshit is this. It's only 30 quid for a kilo of lamb. Tesco's finest lamb, mind you. What's it come with? It comes with Cornish sea salt and black pepper butter. So that's 30 quid a kilo. How much is that pack there? It's like £8 odd. I mean, I know it's their finest stuff, but is it really £30 a kilo finest? I mean, how much would it actually cost to get a full lamb from one of these farms or whatever you go to? Fucking hell, £30 for that. I mean, what's that going to feed? Whew, not two people, that's for sure. Anyway, I hate the taste of lamb. I hate the smell of lamb. But now it appears as though I hate the price of lamb. So, in the comments, let me know what's the most expensive piece of meat you've bought recently. And if any of you have bought this finest lamb cannon, you want your heads looking at.
But I'm in Asda and 5 sets of linked different flavours. £30 or £29.98. Let's be honest, £30. Now, if you think about it, that's £6 per gift set. £6. And it's not even the large size either. And then I look above, one Links Africa set, £5.24. Asda, are you taking the fucking piss?
20, 40. Ah, thank you very much. What are you doing? Well, I need the money. Yes, so do I. That's why I worked for it. Yeah, well, taxes have gone up. Okay, well, am I going to get better public services? No. Okay, are you going to repair the roads? Probably not. Right, so why have my taxes gone up? Oh, well, I've got loads of debt to repay. Okay, well, why are you in debt? Well, we spent more money than we had, you silly little goose, so we had to borrow some. So when I spend too much money and go into debt, I lose my house. But when you do it, you get everyone else to bail you out. Yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. Out of curiosity, how much interest are you paying on that debt? Oh, about 100 billion. Wouldn't it have made more sense to increase taxes beforehand so you didn't have to go into debt and then avoid the interest payment? Probably, yeah. Oh, speaking of interest, we'll probably be doing more taxes next year. I can't afford to pay any more taxes. Oh, no, it's fine. We'll just take it from the disabled or the pensioners. We just flip a coin and decide that way. You have absolutely no idea what you're doing, do you? Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, we'll spend 10 billion on that. That's not a problem. Sorry, what were you saying?
Can we actually talk about how diabolical, and I do not use that word lightly, the salaries are in the UK at the moment? They are insane. Somebody on LinkedIn last week advertised very openly for a marketing manager or a social media manager, and the salary was 30 grand. And I said, quite rightly, I just put in the comments, genuine question, can someone on 30 grand a year afford to live in London and go into the office 5 days a week? Maybe it wasn't 5 days, maybe it was 3 days. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that the answer is no. If you're taking home 2 grand a month, there is not a cat in hell's chance that you can afford to commute on a train into an office in London 3, 4, 5 days a week. You just can't. It's mental. I know someone who did a full day's work with Yodel. Yodel, all the delivery companies, you're classed as self-employed. So if you're classed as self-employed, the UK legal minimum wage doesn't apply if you're registered self-employed. So these companies are getting around this, getting around paying people minimum wage and literally paying people £40 for a 12-hour shift. £40, like what the fuck are you supposed to do with £40 in the year 2025? Like you sneeze, walk out of the door and sneeze, £40 is gone. Like it's literally insane.
Well, there's not like news to cheer you up on a morning, is there? Gas and energy prices are going up again, another 2%. I already pay nearly £300 a month for my gas and electric. It's a fucking joke. 5 years ago, my gas and electric were £120, £150 a month, and I had my house in winter like Barbados. It's red hot. Let's just hope it stays warm because everybody in this house will be in jumpers and blankets. I'm joking, it's not that bad yet, but seriously, some people are actually in that situation. Honestly, How much do you reckon that you have to earn in this country right now just to live comfortably without counting every penny? Because right now it feels like it's impossible. It's just everything is going up. Absolutely everything. Daily. Supermarkets. I'm sure they put prices up 50% every week we go. It's just a joke.
They're fucking at it again with their energy price cap. In October, the government is letting the energy companies pull down your fucking pants again. As soon as there's a little chill in the air, as soon as a little sign of autumn, they pounce. They smell blood. They call it a cap, like it's a protective little hat for the price. But it isn't, is it? It's a wee starting pistol to see how many of us that can push into fucking poverty by spring. And every year, these bastards sat there in the big fucking towers. They record profits every year. And we're not talking millions, we're talking billions. Billions of pounds with a B for bullshit. And while they're feasting, bathing in our money, like Scrooge McDuck, they've got the fucking audacity to tell you to tighten your belts. Stop spending money on little pleasures. Some fat, warm cunt will be getting a 7-figure bonus come April. And there's fuck all you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. What are you going to do? Attach a hamster wheel to a car battery and feed it the shredded remains of their final demands because you're not going to pay their bills? Or maybe we'll get a load of car tyres and we'll just set fire to them in the middle of the street so the whole community can go and stand around and get warm. How's that for your eco-friendly, renewable energy and your carbon footprint, you fat cunts?
Do you know what? I keep seeing all these videos about cost of living and all this government stuff, and it's sad, isn't it? Because everyone, including myself, is like struggling at the minute to pay all the bills and live a comfortable life. Like, I work, my partner works, and money just isn't stretching anywhere. And like every avenue, everybody's looking down. Like I do singing as well, so I'm obviously wanting to get back out and do my singing, and everybody's out doing the singing, and I get it. And then I'm thinking, right, okay, is there anything else I can do? And any other avenue that I'm looking down, it's just everyone's doing it. Everyone is just trying so hard to get extra money in, and it's sad. It's really sad because I don't know, I just feel like people deserve better. Like, we really, really do. Like, hands on my heart, I think everyone is really struggling, like, bad. I just can't believe how, like, hard times are for, like, I know there's a lot of younger generation on this app, but I know there's also a lot, like, around my age as well, and I didn't think being an adult was going to be this hard. Like, I really didn't. But, you know, we'll get there. Times have got to get better, surely. They've got to, haven't they? Like, they really have. I always said when I hit my 40s, that's when I'm making my comeback. That's when, you know, my little boy will be older. Times surely should get easier. They can't get any worse. Please tell me, someone, please give me that positivity, because surely to God things can't get any worse than they are now. I don't know if I'll be able to cope with that. So I want to end the video being positive. I'm going to paint a smile on and say everything will get better, guys. It will.
So we have decided to leave the country. We're going to move to Thailand. First reason is the school system. Schools are terrible. Kids hate the schools. Nothing's changed since the 1800s. They're just preparing our children for a future that's not going to be there. Second reason is Work. I don't like my job, really. My partner doesn't like her job. We're sick and tired of getting up on a Monday, going through the same routine, and then it's the weekend, and then it's a Monday again for nothing. We pay so much tax and all these bills that are just going up and up and up. The weather is terrible. England is just a miserable place. The streets are unsafe. We're just tired. So we've got Instagram going, we've got YouTube going, we've got TikTok going. We're going to try and raise as much money as we can before we go, and hopefully be gone in November. So follow us through our journey. We're going to sell the house. We're going to sell everything we own.
The cost of living has forced me to get a new job because I can't afford to live on my current wage. But to do my new job, I had to get a new car, so that's an additional £250 of outgoings. So I've been doing some calculations to make sure that I can afford the new car for the new job. I tend to spend around £300 on food for myself, and then about £50 on like litter and food and treats for my cats. So there's a reason why I'm poor all the time, and it's not just because everything's more expensive. So on my current wage, without my new car, when I take away food, which you could argue is a necessity, I have £50 left over for the month. I couldn't afford to get my hair cut, but with my new job, food, and my new car, I'm gonna have over £400 left over. I can afford to get my hair cut. And I know some people are like, oh, £50, that's so good. That's what filling my car up once. So yeah, I'm excited.
More and more people are leaving the United Kingdom to other parts of the world. It's like every time when I'm on TikTok, I see families pulling their kids out of school, putting their homes for rentals or Airbnb, traveling to countries like Thailand, Bali, and homeschooling their kids, and people quitting their jobs and working as online content creators. Some people look at these people, they envy them. Some people judge them for being bad parents, for putting their kids out of school. But at the end of the day, we are all feeling the pressure of the cost of living that is happening here in the UK. It's hard, guys. We can't blame these parents for doing that. It's not just the families that are leaving the UK, but also we have professionals like nurses, teachers, doctors, people that should be pouring into the system. But they're all complaining about the same thing, that they are not being paid enough, they're being overworked. It feels like every day it's like, oh my God, another one is bite the dust. It's hard, guys. It's really hard. I don't know when this is going to end, if it's ever going to end, but it is happening. Almost daily, we see people here on socials posting that they're going to be sharing their journeys as they leave the country. What are your thoughts, guys, on this? Like, are you one of those people who want to leave the UK, but you don't know where to start or where to go? Or are you one of those who is riding this high cost of living, and maybe you've got kids and family who you can't just pack and go? Is it just a dream for you? We all know who to blame. The government. The government is not doing enough, guys. I'm actually stressing out because I know with the summer is going to end and winter is coming, the bills are even going to be worse when it's winter time. We're going to be freezing. Some people are going to be freezing because they won't even afford to put heating in their homes. People will have to choose between putting food on the table or heating their homes. It's bad, guys. Anyway, that's all that I wanted to share on today's videos. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
I woke up pissed off today, and I feel like it's the perfect time to give my opinion that no one asked for on the UK salary and lifestyle situation that's going on right now, and why we're going to lose all our skilled workers in about 10 years, in my opinion. Bear in mind, an opinion. So I saw a TikTok this morning that said the average salary for someone who is 22 to 29 is £28,000. And the average salary for someone who's 30 to 39 is £33,000. To me, that's insane. Like, that is insane to me. Like, growing up, I was told if you have a good education, if you have a good job, if you make good money, you will have everything you want. You'll have your dream house, you'll have your dream car, you'll be able to send your kids to nursery and work full time and pursue your career. Okay, but if the average salary is £30,000, you're taking home maybe 2.1, 2.2 if you've gone to uni and got a student loan and paying everything that you have to pay like a pension. The average nursery fees in my area are 1.6 and 1.7. You can do the maths, that's not a lot of money left over for bills, groceries, mortgage, all of that. And then you're looking at people who are 22 to 29 who should be saving for a house, trying to get on the property ladder, trying to like invest into the UK. If your average salary is £28,000, with a student loan you're taking home about 1.8. If you're renting a room, which is from about £500 to £800, you're not left with a lot of money. And that's assuming that you're renting a room and you haven't had to rent an entire flat, or you have kids already, because people in their 20s have kids. And then you've got the situation of skilled workers like teachers and doctors and even like lawyers not being paid enough in this country. Like, we are going to lose all our skilled workers. Nurses aren't being paid enough. They're all moving. The amount of teachers I know that have moved to Australia and Dubai, the amount of doctors I know that are moving to America or Canada or Australia because the salaries are better, we're not going to have people working for us here. We're so scared about the immigrants coming over. We should be scared about us leaving. People are leaving because the lifestyle's better. Your salary is not matching the groceries that you're paying for. Your salary is not matching what the bills are. And yet you're pissed off at the people in the comments saying, well, I make a lot of money and I still feel like I'm not making a lot of money. No, you should be pissed off as well. You should be pissed off. Don't be pissed off at Jack that's making £100,000 and saying that he doesn't feel rich. You should be pissed off that you're not making £100,000, that you're still on the same salary that if you were doing the job 20 years ago, you would be on. You should be pissed off that people aren't making money and investing into the UK and they're actually moving abroad to make more money. You should be pissed off that your kids aren't getting the education that they want because teachers aren't being given the respect, the pay, the time, or the energy that they need to be able to do a good job. You should be pissed off at the government for causing the NHS to not be able to afford to recruit people to be nurses and doctors. Don't be pissed off in the comments for people making money. Be pissed off at the government. And if you're telling me the government are doing their best, get your head out the sand. We should be uprising in the street like the French. And as I said, just my opinion. Just my opinion. But I think it's a valid one.
And this is where we are, Britain in 2025. A place where existing feels like a luxury and escaping feels like the only option. Look at the numbers. Over 300,000 Brits left the UK in 2023 alone. That's one of the highest emigration levels in decades. Meanwhile, food inflation hit 19% last year, the steepest in over 45 years. The average rent in the UK is now over £1,200 a month, while wages have barely moved in 15 years. And more than 7 million households are in fuel poverty, meaning they can't afford to heat their homes properly. These aren't just statistics, they're people, families, pensioners, workers, pushed into survival mode while politicians pat themselves on the back for stability. Stability for who? For the landlords, for the energy giants, for MPs raking in second home allowances while telling us to tighten our belts. So yeah, leaving the UK sounds like a solution. And for some, it is. People move abroad and suddenly find they can afford rent, food, even save for the future. Imagine that. But not everyone can pack up and leave. That's a privilege. So what do we do if we stay? First, we call out the lies. Stop buying into the we're all in it together narrative when clearly we're not. Second, we demand accountability, not in 4 years at the ballot box, but every day. Flood your MPs with emails. Show up. Don't let them sit comfortably while you're struggling to eat. Third, we support alternatives, whether it's local co-ops, unions, community food banks, or even campaigns to cap rents and lower energy bills. Real change doesn't just come from Westminster, it comes from pressure that makes Westminster crack. And finally, we stick together. Because that's what the elites fear most. Not individuals quietly suffering, but communities loudly demanding better. If things carry on like this, Britain won't just be broken, it'll be hollowed out. A country where the rich get richer, and everyone else either leaves, suffers, or disappears into statistics.
That's why this channel exists. Brit Rants isn't just about shouting into the void, it's about documenting the collapse, connecting voices, and refusing to let this madness go unnoticed. So if you're tired of working harder, paying more, and living less, hit subscribe, add your voice, and let's make noise together. Because if we stay silent, nothing changes. But if we stay loud, maybe, just maybe, we'll force this country to choose a different future.